So guys, today I want to talk about how traders manipulate you with contradictory information. Yes, we will talk about the statistic of successful trades. So what is the main point? You have probably seen speculation with numbers many times, whatever it is, trading or any other sphere. Such machinations are the basics of marketing. For example, in the advertisement of a toothpaste, you may have heard the words recommended by 19% of dentists. But the poll was conducted among 10 random dentists, 9 of whom simply answered the question. So, is this toothpaste okay? Or for example, the company that was founded 200 years ago and was not active and not working for 150 years until some rich person bought it out. The same thing's happening in trading, of course. Yes, this kind of the clickbait with statistic is partially true, but I want to explain why for the most part it doesn't make a sense. So of course, I will show you everything in practice right away, so we can understand how all this working and why the statistic of successful trade sometimes doesn't make any sense and doesn't show you the actual result of the trading session. So we're gonna use two indicators. It's gonna be MACD and Donchian channels, the basics. And we're just gonna choose the random first currency pair that we have. So the first type of trading, if to be more clear, like money management system that we can use, is trade only with 1 or 2% of your deposit. So for example, for me now, I have $1,251 and I'm gonna trade only with $12 per trade. Of course, I will not have a lot of the profits from this. We can see the payout is gonna be only $11, but actually it's pretty good because payout here is 92%. So I'm gonna open a buy trade here for 2 minutes. Why we opened here a buy trade, we can see it was the downward trend for a long time and it finally achieved its support level. It was some lateral movement. On the support level, we can see that the sellers and buyers were still trying to fight. But then the buyers started to win. We can see some pretty huge green candles. So that's how we can confirm that is the start of the upward movement here. So what is up with the 1% rule? I always recommend all of my subscribers in my VIP club to trade with 1% of your deposit because it's more safe and that's how you minimize the risks. Because after that, you can open the catch-ups and you can open up to 5 catch-ups if you use only 1% of your deposit or sometimes even 6. So how it's working? For example, we opened this trade and we didn't close it. After that, we opened the next trade 2 times more by the amount than the previous one. So for example, the next trade is going to be $24, right? And for example, we didn't close the other trade for $24. We're going to open the next trade for $48. And that's how we will cover our losses and even have the profit. And for our deposit right now, $1,200, it's not a big deal to trade with like $20, $40, or $80 even. And that's how you can have a lot of the catch-ups. And that's how you have a lot of the chance for a mistake. And you will definitely make the mistakes. And some of the trades you will not close. So that's why it's important to use a catch-up system. And that's how you can cover the losses from this and still have a profit. So yeah, as you can see, we closed this trade. We don't even need a catch-up here. And now we change amount of money per trade to 5%. Here's already another style of the money management because you use more money per trade. So here we're going to open a buy trade for 2 minutes as well. And here is already a little bit risk because your first trade is going to be 5% of your deposit, right? The next trade is going to be 10% of your deposit because you need to double your trade to cover your losses and still have a profit, right? Then if you didn't close the second trade, you need to open the next trade for 20% of your deposit already. It's a lot. It's actually a lot. And that's when it comes to the really big risks because you have not so many steps for a catch-up as with 1% rule, right? And what's about the 1% rule? And when you trade only with 1%, you don't have that great statistic because, for example, you can open 4 trades and lost it, but then you open the 5th trade with the biggest amount of money than all of the previous one, you close it in profit and still have a profit. So for example, your first trade is $10, then the next trade is $20, then $40, $80, and $160. And the first 4 trades you didn't close, right? But you closed the last one for $160 and you covered your losses and had a profit. And the main idea of trading is not the statistic of your successful trade, but your profit, right? So with 1% rule, you follow the main goal. You have a profit. That's it. But because of the catch-ups that you had, you will not have that great statistic because you lost 4 trades, but you won the 5th one only. But anyway, you will have a profit. This is the main point. So guys, as we can see, actually it's pretty good that we will have a catch-up right now so I can show you how it works like. So I'm gonna change my amount of money to $150. It's like 12.5% of my deposit almost. So yeah, we didn't close this trade. And as you can see, I already need to put $150 per trade. It's kind of a lot actually, even for our deposit right now. So we opened the next trade for 2 minutes up here. So why it didn't go through like the previous one? Because as you can see, it was pretty good start of the upward trend. It was already 3 green candles, but then it reversed down for 2 red candles. So it's just the correction of the price, and we got into that, but it's okay. It happened, and that's why you need to use the catch-up system, because sometimes it just went wrong. Sometimes something will happen wrong, and you need to be ready for that. And with 5%, when you trade with already big amount of money, when you trade with like, for example, right now, 12.5% of your deposit, it's kind of a big risk because if I will not close this trade, I need to open a trade for $300 and I will have just $600 on my balance after that. And there is no chance that I will close it as well. I mean, like, there are some guarantees because, of course, I analyze the market, I use the indicators, my strategy, and everything, but it's never 100%. It's no 100% guarantee that you will close the trade. Never. Even if you analyzed everything really carefully, you use like 10 indicators, the best strategy, everything is really good, and you are sure about this trade, it's never 100%. You need to understand that. And guys, let's open a double up here because as we can see, our price went just a little bit down, but it's 15 seconds right now to enter a trade and 2 of our trades in a profit. So in this kind of the situation, it's better to open a trade for a longer time of the expiration, for example, like 3-4 minutes. So we will have enough time for a trade to reverse, for a price to reverse. So it's 1 second and we closed both of the trades. So it's really good for us. We didn't even need the catch up here. So yeah. And for example, in this case, when you trade with 5% of your deposit, you don't have so much opportunities to make a mistake. And that's why your statistics should be really good. I mean, like, you cannot open 5 catch-ups in a row here because you will just not have enough money for that. So in this case, you have 2 choices. Or, for example, your first trade is going to be $50, the next trade is going to be $100. But if you have just $500, it's going to be really risky for you because you only have like 2 or 3 catch-ups maximum, depends on your deposit. Or the second option that you have, if you lost some trade, for example, for $100, you open the next trade not for $200. You're not doubling up it. You open a trade again for $100 or $105, for example, so you can cover your losses. Because if you will open just for $100, and you close it in profit, you will have a payout of like $92, and you will be in the minus. So yeah, you can open the second trade, not like a catch-up, but for like the same amount of money. So that's how you will just cover your losses. And you also need to win the next trade, the second one after that, so you can have a profit edge. And guys, for those who's watching this video right now and thinking, oh my god, this is so difficult, I would never do that by myself, please maybe you have some tips for us how to do the same. And yeah, I have my own Telegram channel with absolutely free signals on bucket option. Everything you need to do is literally click on 2 buttons, buy and sell. That's it. I do all of the work for you. I analyze the market and just send you a ready signal. So if you don't want to miss this opportunity, or you just want to try it absolutely for free, I have a test trading session in my main channel every week. Also voice trading sessions and live streams. Welcome to my Telegram. The link will be in the description of this video. So what we can see here, pretty good downward trend. So here we open a sell trade for 2 minutes. Yep. And let me explain to you. So for example, as I told you before as well, here we have also several options. So for example, I open here a trade for $221 and I will get a profit of $203. For some people, it looks really, really great because you can just open 5 trades for $221 each and you will have a profit of $1,000 in just 5 trades. For example, if you will do a trade for like 2 minutes, you will have $1,000 in just 10 minutes. Isn't it crazy? It's crazy. And that's why so many people is like, yeah, I'm going to trade with like 15% of my deposits. So that's how I can make more profit in short period of time. And this is a big mistake, guys, because even an experienced trader cannot risk that much, because we understand that even if you analyze the market, again, like really, really good and carefully, sometimes something could go wrong and you will not affect on that. You will not do anything about this. And you will need to solve this problem by yourself. And you will need to, for example, if I open a trade for $221, if I lost it, and guys, as you can see, our trade went up. As I told you, it could happen with you. So here I open it double up. And as you can see, it opens on the same time of the expiration as our first trade, but on a different entry point. So as you can see, it was a pretty fast upward movement. So when it happens, it's usually the downward movement. So like in a different direction real quick. So that's why we're going to close the second trade and not the first one. And that's how we just covers up our losses. That's what I was talking about. Even we lost a little bit. Like we opened a trade for $221 and we just got a profit of $203. So we just even lost a little bit. So let's open a new trade for $218 already, because as I told you, we lost a little bit because of the strategy. And that's why I don't recommend guys to trade with 15%, 20% of your deposit. You will just not have enough money for a catch up. And it's just like a Russian roulette, you know? And for example, you opened the first trade for $200. You didn't close it. You opened the next one for the $200 as well, just to cover your losses. Okay, you cover that, as I had right now. Then you open the next trade, the third one, for the same amount of money to finally have a profit. And again, you lost it. And again, you open the fourth trade for $200 and you win. And you just covers up your losses, even lost a little bit, because the payout is only 92%. You will not cover it at all. You just need to put more amount of money per trade to cover it. So that's why it's not really that good. And for example, in my main channel, you can check my statistic of our every trading session every day that I do in my VIP club. I don't share there by the numbers, the percentages of successful and unsuccessful trades, but I do share the screen of recording, the screen video of our every trading session. So you can check it out, like what kind of the trades we had, how many catch-ups, how many successful trades. But the main thing that we close a trade in a profit, and there I share like in the percentage, how much profit we had in the percentages. Sometimes it's 5%, sometimes it's 15, sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's 3. But it's realistic numbers. You need to understand that. So guys, we have 15 seconds to the end of our trade. We're definitely gonna close it. As you can see, it's going really well. So let's just wait a little bit. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We finally closed this trade, guys. So yeah, in my VIP Club channel, I just show you the realistic numbers. You cannot do in a day like plus 50%, plus 60, 70% in a day, every day. In one day, for example, sometimes it's some successful opportunities, some news or something else, but some of the days is not that good. But still, the main thing that we have a problem. So you can just check it in my Telegram channel. It's always open for all of you. And yeah, and I hope you liked this video and it was useful for you. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Here also every Thursday, I do a live stream where I trade with you in live time and talk with all of you. And yeah, see you on the next trading session. Bye-bye.